Deep in a lush green forest lived three inseparable friends. There was Bella the bluebird, who had a voice as sweet as honey. She loved to sing, filling the forest with her melodious tunes every morning. Her songs were like a gentle breeze, bringing joy to all who heard them. Freddie the finch was the playful one of the group. He had a knack for finding fun in the simplest things. Whether it was hopping around the forest floor or pecking playfully at fallen leaves, Freddie's energy was boundless. His playful antics often brought laughter to his friends. Lila the owl was the wise and kind-hearted member of the trio. With her calm demeanor and thoughtful eyes, she was always ready to offer advice or lend a listening ear. Lila's wisdom was a guiding light for Bella and Freddie, helping them navigate the challenges of forest life. Every day the three friends played together, their laughter echoing through the trees. They chased each other through the underbrush, flew high above the treetops, and shared stories of their dreams and aspirations. But despite the joy they found in their daily adventures, they all shared a common dream: to see what lay beyond the familiar boundaries of their forest home.
"What lies beyond the forest?" Bella asked one day, her eyes filled with curiosity and wonder.
Bella's question hung in the air, sparking a sense of excitement in her friends. They had often wondered the same thing but had never voiced it aloud.
"We should explore!" Freddie exclaimed, his eyes twinkling with enthusiasm. The idea of an adventure thrilled him to his core.
Freddie's chirp was filled with excitement and it was contagious. Bella and Lila felt their own excitement growing.
"An adventure would be fun," Lila agreed, her wise eyes sparkling with a rare hint of mischief. She loved the idea of discovering new places and learning new things.
Lila nodded and hooted softly, signaling her agreement. The decision was made. They would embark on an adventure beyond the forest. The friends decided to leave the next morning. They were so excited. They spent the evening packing their favorite berries and nuts, ensuring they had enough food for their journey. The forest was filled with their excited chatter as they made their preparations. As they gathered their supplies, they couldn't help but imagine the wonders they would see. The forest held many secrets and treasures, but the world beyond promised even more. They dreamed of vast meadows, towering mountains, and sparkling rivers. The anticipation of the unknown filled their hearts with joy and a sense of adventure. They knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together as friends. And so, with the first light of dawn, Bella, Freddie, and Lila set off on their grand adventure, ready to discover the world beyond their beloved forest. The sun peeked through the trees. It was time for the big adventure. Bella, Freddie, and Lila hugged their families goodbye. They promised to be careful.
Have a wonderful time, and remember to stick together.
With happy hearts, the three friends took flight. They soared above the trees. The forest looked so small from up high. Bella sang a cheerful song. Freddie did a joyful flip in the air. Lila hooted with excitement. The world was big and wide open. They couldn't wait to see what it held for them. The friends flew for hours. They saw rolling hills covered in flowers. They flew over sparkling rivers. They even saw snow-capped mountains in the distance. Everything was so different from their forest home.
Wow, look at all the colors.
Bella had never seen so many flowers. There were reds, yellows, and purples. Lila pointed out a family of deer grazing by the river. The world was full of amazing creatures. Freddie wanted to meet them all.
"Let's keep going,"
he chirped, eager to see more. As they flew, they heard a sad sound. It was a sound that tugged at their hearts, a soft, sorrowful cry that echoed through the trees. It was a small sob, almost like a whisper carried by the wind, but it was enough to make them pause and listen. They looked down and saw a little sparrow perched on a branch, his tiny body shaking with each sob. He was sitting on a branch, wiping his eyes with his wings. His name was Sammy, and he looked utterly heartbroken.
"What's wrong?" Bella asked, her voice filled with concern and kindness.
Sammy sniffled and looked up at Bella, his eyes glistening with tears. He took a deep breath, trying to steady his voice.
"My kite! The wind blew it into that tall tree and I can't get it down." Sammy's voice quivered with frustration and sadness.
The tree was very tall, its branches reaching high into the sky, almost touching the clouds. It seemed impossible to climb. Even Lila, with her big wings, wasn't sure she could reach the top. She flapped her wings experimentally, but the height was daunting. Freddie wanted to help but knew he was too small. He looked thoughtful, trying to come up with a plan.
"Don't worry, Sammy, we'll help you get your kite back," Bella said with determination, her eyes shining with resolve.
Said Bella. The other birds nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They knew they had to work together to help their friend. They huddled together, discussing various ideas and strategies. Each bird offered suggestions, trying to figure out the best way to retrieve the kite. Lila decided to give it a try. She flew up, her wings beating strongly against the wind, but the tree was just too tall. She came back down, looking disappointed, but not defeated. "We'll find another way," she said, her voice filled with determination. The birds looked around, searching for anything that could help. They noticed a long vine hanging from a nearby tree. "Maybe we can use this vine to climb up," suggested Freddie. The birds examined the vine, testing its strength. They decided to give it a try. Working together, they pulled the vine towards the tall tree, securing it around a sturdy branch. One by one, the birds began to climb. It was a slow and careful process, but they were determined. Finally, Lila reached the branch where the kite was stuck. She carefully grabbed it with her beak and started to make her way back down. The other birds cheered as Lila descended, the kite safely in her grasp. They had done it. Sammy's face lit up with joy. Thank you so much," he exclaimed, his voice filled with gratitude. The birds hugged each other, celebrating their success. They had worked together and achieved something wonderful. As they flew off together, the sun setting behind them, they knew that they could overcome any challenge as long as they had each other. The friends put their heads together. They needed a plan. The situation was dire, and they knew that only by working together could they overcome the challenge ahead. Each bird had a unique strength, and they were determined to use them all to their advantage.
I know. We can make a chain with our feet. This way, we can reach the highest branches and retrieve the kite that got stuck. It's going to take all of us working in perfect harmony.
Lila held onto the branch with her strong claws. She was the strongest of the group, and her grip was firm and unwavering. She knew that she had to be the anchor for the chain they were about to form. She reached down with her feet, extending them towards Bella. The trust between them was palpable, and they knew that they could rely on each other completely. Bella held onto Lila's feet. She was nimble and quick, her movements precise and calculated. She knew that her role was crucial in maintaining the balance of the chain. Freddie then held onto Bella's feet. Freddie was the smallest but the most determined. His courage was unmatched, and he was ready to do whatever it took to help his friends. They made a long bird chain. Each bird played a vital role, and their combined efforts created a strong and flexible chain that could reach the highest branches.
Just a little further. They cheered each other on, their voices filled with determination and hope. They knew that they were close to achieving their goal.
Freddie was at the bottom. He was the last link in the chain, and he knew that his role was critical. He had to be steady and strong to support the others above him. He stretched out his wing as far as he could, his muscles strained, but he was determined to reach the kite string that was just out of reach. He could almost reach the kite string. The anticipation was building, and the other birds held their breath, watching Freddie's every move. With a final push, Freddie grabbed the string. His beak closed around it, and a cheer went up from the other birds. They had done it. He carefully pulled it until the kite came loose. The kite floated down gently, and the birds celebrated their success. They had worked together and achieved something amazing. Their teamwork had truly saved the day. Freddie flew the kite down to Sammy. Sammy's eyes lit up with joy. He couldn't stop thanking them.
You saved my kite. I thought I'd lost it forever.
We're happy to help.
That's what friends are for.
Sammy was so grateful. He offered to share his berries with them. They all sat together under the tree, eating berries and admiring the colorful kite. After helping Sammy, the friends felt happy and proud.
I'm hungry. Let's go find that river we saw.
They found the sparkling river and landed on a rock. The water was cool and refreshing. They splashed and played for hours. Freddie even tried to teach Sammy how to swim. Sammy flapped his little wings and giggled. It was the most fun he'd had in a long time. As the sun began to set, the friends knew it was time to head home. They were tired but very happy.
Goodbye, Sammy. We promise to visit you again soon.
They flew back towards their forest, their hearts full of memories. The journey back seemed shorter. Maybe it was because they weren't so nervous anymore. They knew the way, and they had each other. When they finally reached the forest, their families were waiting. They were so happy to see them.
We can't wait to tell you about our adventure.
The hills were so colorful and the river sparkled like diamonds.
And we helped Sammy rescue his kite.
Their families were very proud of them. They had been brave and kind. They had learned that working together made difficult tasks easier, And most of all, they had discovered the importance of true friendship. That night, nestled in their cozy nests, the friends thought about their adventure. They realized the world was a beautiful and exciting place, but they also knew that there was no place like home. And there was nothing more important than the love and support of their friends and family.
I dreamed of singing with Sammy by the river.
I dreamed of flying high above the clouds.
I dreamed of sharing my wisdom with all the creatures in the forest.
Even though their adventure was over, the memories stayed with them. They knew they would never forget their day exploring the world beyond the forest, and they couldn't wait for their next adventure together. They knew that as long as they had each other, any dream was possible.
We had such an amazing day.
I can't wait for our next adventure.
As long as we have each other, we can do anything.
The end.